One of the things that we've got out here that is really a neat feature, and if you had, say one of the tools like over my shoulder here, I've got a couple of one-touch AT. These are 10 gig units, but the one-touch was really focused at discovering a single broadcast domain. And this is where the Etherscope NXG goes way beyond that when it comes to discovery. And that is we have our extended discovery ranges. And with our extended discovery ranges, I can come in and add IP subnets that I will go out and discover. In fact, one of the things that this allows us to do is I can come in and say, hey, I want to discover this network, and I can put a check next to it. And this is something as well that's an important concept when it comes to the Etherscope NXG, and that's the idea of libraries of different things. And here we have a library of subnets to discover. Now, I could go in and turn those discovery ranges off and on. I never want to delete them, because if I go in and delete them, then they're gone. And in fact, if I've created multiple profiles, they're gone from all the profiles. So I can come in and create all those subnets. I can say, for today, I want to discover these subnets. All I have to do is just put a check mark next to those. So if I were to come in and do an add right here, I can put in whether that subnet will be discovered or not. I could enter in the IP address for the beginning of that range, and I could put in a subnet mask. So now that puts that address range in there. We want to be a little bit careful, and I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I wouldn't put 10.0.0.0 in here. It's going to send out 16 million pings plus, and we really don't want to do that. So what we've done is not only am I going in and discovering my local broadcast domain, but I'm reaching out into each of my other subnets. And these, as we'll see in here, could be remote sites. And we're able to discover those. And if they're a Wi-Fi network, what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and we're going to get the IP address and the name of the device. And if you've been networking for very long, you know that when we reach out into another network, we lose the MAC address of that device, unless you're using something like the Etherscope NXG. And with this, it's going to go in and do that discovery. And this is something I've always been so impressed with the way this discovery works, is that as Bob's mentioned, it's going out and utilizing SNMP to pull tables. So we can go out, we can hit the devices, we can ping them to find the device. We can send name queries to that device. We can use DNS to discover that, MDNS if that's available for the device. So now we get IP to name. And by using that ARP cache from the core routers, we're able to get IP to MAC. So now I've got name, IP, and MAC. And then if I pull that bridge forwarding table from that remote switch, I have MAC to port. So by putting all of this together into one picture, I can now see where devices are connected on my remote networks. So no longer do I have to call an administrative person out there to remote office where we don't have any IT support and say, hey, I need you to try and figure out where this is plugged in. You know where it's plugged in. So if you need to reconfigure that port or have them move a cable, it's a matter of I need you to go in and move this cable from this port to this port. So from a documentation and troubleshooting standpoint, you're able to reach out through your network into those remote sites that could be tens of or thousands of miles away and find and know exactly where things are connected in there.